Welcome to the Write Good Books podcast, the audio companion to WriteGoodBooks.com, with your host Jason Bougger.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Jason. I'm joined again by our co-host, Scott Michael Childers. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Cool. Last time we talked about NaNoWriMo, and with NaNoWriMo, the whole focus is on daily word counts. You know, and writers such as Stephen King really push the idea of daily word counts. I don't think that works for everybody. I know it doesn't work for me outside of NaNoWriMo, I suppose. So today, I thought it'd be a good idea to talk about writing goals without daily word counts. What else can you do to make sure you're writing every day? And what else can you focus on? What do you think?
Well, I think I don't write every day.
You don't write every day. You should write every day.
Well,
Scott should write every day. Send him emails. We jest.
Here's the thing. Some people need that everyday writing.
They do.
Absolutely. They need that structure. Helps keeps things going. Some people can do that because they have the time. I'm not saying there's a lot of free time, but they can find a way to whittle in that time. Other people, their work schedules are too flexible to do daily. However, that being said, I still have goals.
Exactly.
So, even though, and many of you will probably still chastise me for not writing daily, I still have monthly milestones I want to hit. Some people it'd be weekly. For me, monthly works best because there are some weeks I'm not in front of a keyboard long enough to do anything but answer the email.
I have monthly, weekly, and daily, and none of them are word count, so chastise me as well.
So what do you use instead of word count for those times? Is it you wrote every day, every week, every month?
You know, I do so much business of writing things that I have certain milestones I have to do every day. I have a spreadsheet with a daily column and a weekly column, and then I set individual monthly goals. And sometimes those monthly goals are a word count, sometimes they're a chapter count or whatever, but my daily goals are more make sure I do X amount of things on Twitter, on Facebook. To promote the blog, I go to other blogs and comment on their posts and things like that. So those are my daily, my theme of absence, read a short story or two every day. So I have those daily business of writing goals. I have no daily fiction goals. I do have weekly fiction goals, and those will just usually be related to my monthly goals. If I have a monthly goal of finish a short story, my weekly goal might be finish the first draft or, finish this scene or whatever, and then the monthly would be to clean it up. My other weekly goals are my websites, have these posts done, have this podcast recorded, have theme of absence ready, that type of thing. So I'm kind of different since I'm at this point right now. Oh, to sidetrack, there's also the marketing for the novel that falls in there as well. So I'm at that point where I'm doing so much business of writing right now that the daily writing definitely doesn't work for me. But so when I say write every day, I actually mean work on writing related things every day. Do all the things.
Do all the things? Is that going to be the album art for...
Yes.
Okay. But I think the idea of doing something to further your writing goals...
Yes.
Whether it's have a career in writing, finish the story, promote the story, you're doing something to further some goal, whether or not it's the actual finish this thing. I'm actually crafting.
Right.
First draft, crafting. And that brings up another thing. For me, I'm not going to be writing first draft when I'm revising something else.
Yeah.
So daily writing goals for me, even if I wasn't doing the whole traveling and stuff monthly, there's going to come a point where I'm not writing anything first draft and word count is irrelevant. So I'm going to be focusing on revisions. And then for that, it's, how many pages do I have to go through? Divide that by if I have a deadline.
Right. My last time I worked on revising a novel was to prepare for the Denver conference. I did have a daily goal of just do one scene per day. I was also working on word count, so I was kind of, add a little more detail to each scene. But so yeah, it's your priority. What's the most important? And for me right now, a daily word count isn't important at all. And for a new writer, it might be. If you have no business side of writing yet, if you have no existing projects to work on revising, your daily word count should be your most important thing.
Well, let's bring this, let's kind of twist this a little bit. And this comes from supposedly a Seinfeld interview. Seinfeld said that to continue working on a project, he works on it on a day, goes through the calendar, marks off that day. Next day he works on it, goes through the calendar, marks off that day. So over a while you see this chain of days that you've worked on this project, and you keep working on it. And people have adapted this to things like weight loss and exercise and building a habit. And so for a writer, especially a newer one, it may not be so important to hit the daily word count, but the practice of getting your butt in the seat, hitting the keyboard or the pen on the paper, or what chisel to the stone, and get to work.
Yeah.
And then you go to your calendar, mark it off, and then you keep that chain going. And I think that might be a little bit easier method for some people to swallow, because then the pressure of hitting 1,000, 1,667, 500 words isn't there. And then as they write, their pace will pick up to whatever it is that they are able to hit in that hour or whatever.
Right. And you get that instant feeling of accomplishment as soon as you check that off.
Yeah. And you can use that with word count. You can say, I'll mark it off if I hit my word count.
Oh, sure.
I mark it off if I hit my minute count. I mark it off if I did at least 15 minutes, whatever.
Yeah. It's more important, I think, for new writers that you're really just working on it. I just think I've seen too many people, myself totally included in this statistic of this unscientific poll. I've seen way too many people get way too discouraged when they try to meet a word count, and they're just not at that point where they can just do it. You're not, we're not Stephen King. We can't just write 100,000 words in a couple of months like it's nothing, and even though he thinks we might be able to do that.
Well, and I think a person might be able to do that once they've started and gotten the flow, and they're full-time writers, and they have the ability to set that time aside, say, this is my writing time, it is my job. For the people who are just starting out, often people are writing or trying to fit writing in between one, maybe two jobs, family, etc. It's more important that you find a method that keeps you excited about writing, and not punishes you for those days that you don't hit a goal. Especially the very beginning writers.
Yeah, the last thing you want is to just get discouraged right away.
Yeah, right.
And I always recommend you start with short stories. A lot of people disagree with me on that, but I just feel like if you can just take a month or two and write a 3,000-word short story, and there you have your first accomplishment. I finished my first piece of fiction. And maybe build towards the effort goal. Don't do NaNoWriMo, do nano short story.
I believe there's a short story month. I think there's a poetry month.
Sure.
But you don't have to wait for that.
Oh, yeah.
Just declare it. In this
now.
month, I'm going to write my first short story.
Yeah, and do it. I think when I decided to try fiction for the first time, my first short story was 1,500 words, and I just happened to hit a bug that night and pretty much wrote the whole thing in one night, and was so excited. It's like, wow, look, I wrote something, everybody. It's so good to have that emotional satisfaction, I suppose. I don't know, what else can you do for typical goals that aren't writing? I wrote down a couple of notes here, outlines, just work on an outline if you're an outliner. If not, try it. Look up 3x structure and just kind of jot some notes down.
I think that would be more along the lines if you feel like you're stuck.
Yeah.
You're still trying to progress something.
That's a great way to get unstuck. Daydream.
Sometimes that's a way to get stuck.
Sometimes it helps me get unstuck. I'll just put on some music and kind of think about what I want to work on. You call that brainstorming too, I guess.
Oh, there you go. Framing it.
I've seen one writer I know who wrote on Twitter that once a year, instead of doing NaNoWriMo, she'll try to do, for 30 days, write a piece of flash fiction. I don't have that in me, but
have you
I
tried?
think that would be a lot of fun.
Have you tried, Jason?
No, maybe that'd be a good January
Maybe
goal.
you do have it in you. However, you edit flash fiction, so...
That's true. I've seen it all. There's so many little things you can do without focusing on your word count.
Right. Yeah, the bigger picture, and that's, you look at the bigger picture in your writing. So in your career, what are you doing today to further yourself along? Now, granted, you can't further yourself along without doing any writing. You have to write eventually.
Right.
But you could learn about some techniques in writing, listen to a podcast, read a web page, all that type of stuff when you're on the road, and, listen to something in the car.
Yeah.
When you're at home, maybe you don't have an hour, 2 hours to write, but you got half an hour. Outline.
Yeah.
Brainstorm. Do a character sketch.
Character sketches are great.
World build, yeah.
Yeah, side note here, but that second novel I have that isn't published yet, I did no character sketches beforehand, and they run together. Prepare characters.
Yeah.
And world build, yes. You hate to get stuck in the middle of a novel and all of a sudden you're questioning yourself on the rules of that world.
Yeah. But you have to eventually get back and write the story. But don't be so concerned about the actual, did I hit my 1,000 words today?
Right.
And again, if you can quit your job and you're doing this for a living, then the attitude changes a little bit.
Yeah.
Because then you're wasting money.
Yeah. Yeah, when you ditch the day job and write full time, then you really do have to say every morning I write something new for 3 hours or whatever works for you, however method you use. But when you're early on, just make sure you write a little bit or work on it a little bit and see where you go.
Yeah, I was I can't remember who the author was now. It was several years ago. They started writing, and they got their writing done, while waiting for the kids to pick them up at school, waiting for the laundry to finish, 5 minutes here or there. Never said a word about word count. And it was always when they had the time they wrote. And, hey, guess what? She wrote. I'll have to go back and see if I can find that author. He was a Grand Island native.
Okay.
Someone from Nebraska who left and made it big. Author may be irrelevant, actually.
Right, actually, it is. Because that's the thing. She knew, I'm just going to get my story done.
Yes.
I'm going to work when I can. I'm going to get my story done. And I think that's so much more important than saying, well, today I'm going to write 800 words. Because then you're not thinking about your story. You're thinking about, what can I put here to get this daily count up? You're thinking, oh God, I've been writing for 2 hours and I still have to write 400 more words. What am I going to do? It's so much more important to focus on your plot and getting that story done.
Yeah, because you
opinion.
can hit word count by going to a lorem ipsum generator, copy paste, you've hit your word count. It doesn't do you any good, but you hit your word count.
And if you hit that word count and 50% of them are adjectives and adverbs, you have to get rid of those words. And step 2.
Yeah, there's actually a podcast in adverbs. I think we should do an adverb one.
Yeah, we could do several. I'll steal something I heard on another podcast. I think Stephen King said you could take the adjectives and adverbs out of the last Harry Potter book, and that would be a whole novel by itself. Or something like that. Not to bash on anybody. I thought it was a funny quote, though. I don't like adverbs. A lot of the stories I reject at Theme of Absence are for overuse of adverbs.
He said disgustingly.
Yes, disgustingly.
Wow. I think we've sidetracked. We may have cut that whole bit. But I don't have anything else. Bove, I think we actually wrapped it up about 10 minutes ago.
I think we did too. I hope you got something out of it. Right? That's the most important thing. And don't beat yourself up if you don't hit whatever arbitrary number you came up with. And if you're doing NaNoWriMo this month, I hope you're going strong.
In that case, hit your word count.
And I hope you hit your word count.
Otherwise,
And yeah, there you go. And if you're not doing NaNoWriMo, still set some goals. And if you really feel like it, go leave us a comment and let us know what your daily goals are.
Your daily goal is to write 140 words about our podcast I can't even finish that one.
There you go. Check us next time. Visit us on the web at www.writegoodbooks.com/podcast. And see ya.
See you later.